Hello, it is Thursday, June 5th, 2025. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Thursday crossword today, which means we're going to be solving a themed crossword, and the theme may well be on the intricate or intriguing side. And this interesting or intriguing edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Quotidiophile, Overfull Hitbox, and, as always, the indomitable Shoalmaster and the indefinable Charlie Paget. Thank you so much to the four of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for their generous support. They, of course, sustain this channel. They keep it going day by day. I'm very grateful to them for that. Thanks so much to those four and to everybody who supports the channel via Patreon. If you'd like to do so yourself, you can head to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the description field link where you'll find bonus videos available to patrons and for benefactors like those I've just mentioned. Of course, there's also the Let's Check the Crosses official Daily Solve mug. Thank you so much to everybody who supports the channel at any level via Patreon. And let's get on to today's crossword, shall we? This is a debut construction, so welcome to Timothy Gates. It's a Thursday crossword. It'll have some kind of interesting or intricate theme, and it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. Let's start solving. Right, and it's this grid is symmetrical about a vertical axis, we can see. So, in other words, if you folded the grid in half along its sort of vertical halfway division, you'd get an identical disposition of black cells mirroring one another, which is unusual, but Thursday is a day when you might find that sometimes for thematic reasons. Oh, right, actually, okay, no, I was going to say maybe all of these vertical clues are themed, but nope, just this one. Anyway, we'll get there eventually. Toggle on a digital clock, AM, PM, maybe? Let's see if that's right for a 12-hour time. Proclaim. To proclaim something could be to aver it. Let's see. Confirm to be true. Maybe this is wrong. Works traditionally performed with musical accompaniment in ancient Greece. Oh, odes? Maybe proclaim is a vow. Could be the official poetic form of the New York Times crossword, the ode, which might have music accompanying it. Lead into care. Medicare, right, U.S. State health care program. Let's see. Necessity for a reservation, perhaps. Pre-booking at a restaurant? Yeah. So what's confirmed to be true? Could be verify, if verify goes in the grid in some other way. Like we could have IFY all in this cell as a rebus, maybe, but that I don't see what that would do for 4 down. To confirm to be true. I don't know. Word that can redundantly follow I, myself. Okay, maybe it's that we've taken out if. We've removed the word if from verify. That seems like something you could imagine in a theme. I wonder if this theme clue with the asterisk, armed thieves, if we removed if from that. Probably ends with an S still. Armed thieves. A word that would have if in it. I don't know. I can't think of one. Unwanted ingredient when assembling s'mores, say. Ash? Like ash from toasting marshmallows over a fire and then putting them in your s'more? Maybe. Not sure. Actor Cox of Succession. Brian Cox is the actor who portrayed Logan Roy in that. Midwest city whose name consists of 2 interjections. Omaha, like O and Ha? Maybe. Not sure. Let's see. Leader of brothers, an abbot, right? So leader of brothers in the sense of, men in a religious order. Okay, inclined. If you're inclined, apt, maybe? Like 2027 and 2029, but not 2025. All right, so these look like they're talking about years, but they're not really. It's just the numbers in question. 2027 and 2029 are prime numbers, but 2025 is not because it's divisible by 5. Okay, so inclined, apt. I think that's probably right. And then, yes, a Goliath is a giant, a titan. So armed thieves are bits. I don't see how removing if from this helps, so maybe we don't just remove if. Maybe we remove a whole phrase, one word at a time. Armed thieves. Oh, I can't think what it is. Anyway, this is Titan. This clue's number +1, so this is 9 plus 1 is 10. There we go. Rainwater clearer. Oh, this looks wrong. Is avow incorrect? Proclaim. That feels right. Lead into care. Medicare. That looks right as well. Maybe pre-booking is wrong. Maybe it's pre-something else. Rainwater clear. Oh, wiper, as in a windshield wiper. So necessity for a reservation, perhaps, is pre-planning? No, I don't know. Mr. Spock, e.g., from Star Trek, is an alien, I suppose. Blame It on Blank, 1984 Michael Caine rom-com. Oh, I don't know this movie. I don't know. Doesn't ring a bell to me. Cunning Sort, Sly Fox, maybe? Blame It on Rio. Maybe that rings a bell. I'm not sure. I definitely haven't seen it. Oh, prepayment. Right. Okay. Yeah. These days, sometimes if you book a reservation at a restaurant, you do have to prepay a certain amount. Okay. I was reading an article about this a few years ago. The restaurants were having increasing issues with people booking reservations and not showing up. So this has risen in part to counter that. Anyway, Lil Belly, Tum. So Lil meaning, a contraction, a shortened word for belly. Okay. Removing lumps from, in a way. Sifting. Oh, this has an if. Oh, maybe this... Does this have an if? I don't see how it does, but this does. As in, if you're sifting flour, you're removing lumps from it. Clumps of flour would be sifted away. Like some coffees and mob targets, iced. So you could have iced coffee, or mob targets could be iced. They could be killed. Saint in the Caribbean, St. Lucia, that's the island, or St. Lucia. Neighbor of the number sign on a telephone keypad. Number 9, I suppose. Number 9. And showed for the first time... Oh, this... Oh, maybe it's going to be something like ifs, ands, or buts. Does that work with any of these? Like no ifs, ands, or buts. That's a phrase. Yes, bandits. Right. Okay, so maybe it's the sort of... Maybe that's part of why the grid is vertically symmetrical like this. Maybe we've got one column of ifs, one column of ands, and one column of buts. So that would make this one an if again. No, never mind. That's wrong. This is but. Showed for the first time is debuted. So we removed but from debuted and we're left with showed for the first time deed. The forbidden, so yeah, from debuted. The Forbidden City's Meridian Gate. Okay, there we go. In China, presumably, is what we're referring to. And then animal symbol of innocence is a doe. Yeah, a doe is kind of seen as a particularly, metaphorically, a kind of young, innocent animal for whatever reason. Antidotes, perhaps, are medicines? I don't know if that's right. One who's conspicuously excellent, and this will be missing an if, and, or, but. I'm not sure which. Let's come back to it. Telephone number add-ons, extensions, maybe in a corporate office environment, and formal expressions of praise. Formal expressions of praise. What would that be? Don't know. I think I need more crosses, given I could have an if, and, or, a but. And well, can we put in no ifs, ands, or buts in here? Emphatic instruction for entering the answers to this puzzle's 10 starred clues. No ifs, ands, or buts. Yeah, that's right. Okay, good. So, did we get this? Yeah, okay. All right, so that's it. I think that's the whole theme. So I need to just figure them out now. Nickname for Louis Armstrong. Satchmo? No. Doesn't fit. Maybe just Satch? Satchmo was Louis Armstrong's nickname, but that's too long to fit in here. So it could have just been maybe Satch for short. I mean, Satchmo is definitely correct. So I'm guessing that that's what's going on here. Emergency item on a ship. A raft, maybe? Langston Hughes poem published during the Harlem Renaissance. I, Too. It's a famous Langston Hughes poem. Light shade, a crew, sort of an off-white. Hasty. If you made a hasty decision, it could be a rash decision made too quickly. Formal expressions of praise. Tributes. Yeah, there we go. We removed the but. So yeah, tributes. And it leaves tries. Emergency item on a ship. Support. Yes, supporting. If you're supporting a motion, say you're for it. And then emergency item on a ship would be a raft. One who's conspicuously excellent. I wonder if there will be an equal number of ifs, ands, and buts. I don't know. One who's conspicuously excellent. A something out. Ifs, ands, or a standout. Yeah, that is right. And then we're left with the word stout. So st and out. Antidotes, perhaps, right, it wasn't meds, it's sera, as the plural of serum. So you might have an antidote delivered by way of a serum. Okay, companionship, question mark. The Ark, Noah's Ark. It's a ship full of companions, pairs of two animals. I guess pairs of two is redundant, pairs of animals. Kilns for hops, oasts, right. So, yeah, this is in sort of traditional brewing methods. You'd roast, I guess, the hops in an oast, big kiln, and you could have an oast house. There's a very good audiobook slash, I guess it's basically an audiobook by the long-running fictional British character Alan Partridge, entitled From the Oast House, where he records these like ostensible episodes from the oast house on this old property that he has bought. Anyway, flat sign. Flat sign. Is it a sign of a flat note in music, maybe? Don't think so. Not supporting. If you're not supporting something, you're anti it. So it's the opposite of for, which we had over here, supporting. Stunning 17,000-year-old discovery in France's Lascaux Cave. Art, cave paintings. Down under, bounders, right. So kangaroos, they bound, they jump around. Cultivate. To cultivate the soil could be to till it. And flat sign, to let, which always vaguely looks like toilet to me. You see to let a lot here in the UK to mean, to rent a flat, to rent an apartment. So that's by the way what this is about. So flat means an apartment in British English, and the fact that it's using British English means we're also using terminology that you'd find in British English, to let rather than say to rent. Cost of doing business maybe is a fee. And cluster in an archipelago would be a cluster of isles. It's an island cluster, an archipelago. To have down is to know something. Alley-oop is a basketball phrase, I guess. And doomed from the get-go for short would be DOA, dead on arrival. So never had a chance. Street urchins, right. Waifs, oops. We leave out the if. And we're just left with the word was. So street urchin, a little child, a waif. All right. What Indiana Jones famously isn't fond of? Snakes, and in particular, asps. A club might be seen on one. Could be seen on an ace card. Could be the ace of clubs. And a food subject to an internet debate over whether or not it's a sandwich, a taco. Right. I've heard of the internet hot dog. Is a hot dog a sandwich debate? I was not aware that the taco is also subject to this debate. That seems more tenuous to me. Anyway, fine. Biblical beast, an ass, beast of burden. Neighbors of Croats, Serbs. Serbia and Croatia. Cliched would be banal, maybe trite, overused. Cave dweller is a bat, I suppose. Professional writer of a sort could be a steno, a stenographer, someone who, does court transcription, for instance. Get ready to hit all the right notes to tune your instrument. 1970s tennis champ Stan Smith. That sounds, I couldn't tell you who that is, but it sounds probably plausible. Home of the historic Oscarshall Palace, Oslo must be, and then general name on a Chinese menu. So it's sort of phrased to make it look like it means general name in the sense of, it's kind of an ordinary name, but no, it means the name of a General So. For instance, General So's chicken. All right, buying a gallon of milk, picking up the laundry, etc. Errands, yes, we leave out the ands and we're left with ers. There we go. Activist Aaron Brockovich, about whom that film was made with Julia Roberts. To stir up is to royal descent, maybe. One standing near a pond, maybe. A rail, a wading bird? Is that right? Maybe I'm thinking of stilt. What is this? What is a reed? That's what we're looking for. Yes, reed. That's what I was trying to think of. The plant, of course. But one of these must be wrong. Like dress shirts, typically. Royal is wrong. Stir up. Barrier to entry. A stile, maybe? Like a turnstile in some cases. To let you into a subway system or something. Stir up. Why can't I see what this is? What about this one? Diminutive suffix in Spanish. Ita or ito? Like dress shirts, typically. Ironed? No. Collared? Like dress shirts, typically. Why can't I think what this would be? What about this? Finally, at last. Why? I don't know why I can't see what this is. Sorry, this one's really stumping me more than the others did with a similar number of letters. Stir up. I'll come back to it. Setting for a Laura Ingalls Wilder book series. The Prairie, Little House on the Prairie. Rile. Right. Why didn't I think of that? Yes, to get people riled up is to stir them up. So... Oh, buttoned, right. I hadn't thought about the word coming before the beginning of the word that goes in the grid. I don't think that's happened yet. Okay, there we go. So a buttoned shirt, a dress shirt is typically buttoned and the butt goes before. There it is. Okay. Clamorous, a roar. So, crowd could be clamorous. It could be making lots of sound. It's a roar. Shoot into the pocket in snooker. Is that pot, probably? You pot the ball in snooker in, sort of billiards style game. That would be my guess. It feels like what would be a snooker term. Blank love, yes, and that works because puppy love is a phrase. Not approximate, say, casual? No, not approximate, sorry. It's to, or it could be a verb, to not approximate. No, it's probably not. It's probably the adjective. Garner, to reap rewards would be to garner them. Huge fan club, so to speak. There's a pun of some sort, presumably. Gillette razor, Atra. Boy, this at one time I think was the official razor of the New York Times crossword. I haven't seen it as much recently, so I'm going to decline to give it official status just yet until it pops up a few more times in reasonable proximity. Someone who knows how the sausage gets made, right? And that's our last one of these, presumably. A butcher, yes. The but comes at the beginning again, actually, here. No, sorry. It's a C here. Share is what we're left with. Okay. Coach's charge is the coach's team. So not approximate, right? Okay, it's not. They aren't approximate figures. They're actual figures. They're correct and accurate. And then huge fan club, so to speak, is an army. Right, I see. So if you say, I don't know, I'm sure there's a different name for this, but like the Taylor Swift army would be a big fan club. So there we go. That was a very clever theme. I like that a lot. That's a very good Thursday theme. Not too sort of complicated. It's just, it can be tricky to see the individual answers. The way the theme works isn't all that complicated, but it can be tricky to actually figure out what's going on and solve it. So yeah, we have no ifs, ands, or buts. And let's go over these. Confirmed to be true, verify becomes very. Bandits become bits. Butcher becomes share. Sifting becomes sting. Debuted becomes deed. What was this one again? Formal expressions of praise. Oh, did I ever see this one? I mean, I saw, yes, I did. Tributes. Tributes becomes tries. Sorry, I did see that. Standout becomes stout. Errands becomes ers. Buttoned becomes toned. And finally, waifs become was. That is quite a theme. So how many did we have of each, actually? Do I even want to figure this out? I don't know if I do. I'm going to have to keep just clicking through all these again because I already forget which is which. Someone can let me know if these are... Oh, no, they couldn't be of equal quantity because there are 10 of them, which is not divisible by 3. So, right. Okay, I wonder which of these had more than others. Someone can let me know that in the comments or the Daily Solve Discord chat server because I think it would be too awkward for me to sit here and figure it out live on camera. There is that Daily Solve Discord chat server, a nice friendly chat community linked in the description field if you'd like to tell me how many of each category of clue was present in the grid, or just how you found this puzzle in general. If you found it tricky when you caught on to the theme, I sort of started to get it with verify reasonably early on, but it took me a while to arrive at ifs, ands, or buts, which is very clever. Or you can mention these things in the comments below the video. Do also consider subscribing if you've been enjoying these videos. That's a big help, and thanks to everybody who's done so. I'll be back tomorrow for the Themeless Friday puzzle. Do join me for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Thursday. Take care.